Okay, so looking at our last function here, we have tangent. I'm using pen for this one. I think that shows up much better. I've also zoomed in a little bit, so sorry for the last videos if they're hard to read, but hopefully you can use your phone to kind of zoom in on them. So tangent, we're looking at our acronym is TOA, T for tangent, tangent of theta, our 30-degree angle, is equal to opposite over adjacent. That's going to be our fraction for this one. So looking at this, with reference to our 30-degree theta angle, our opposite is going to be over here, and our adjacent is down here. And I'll draw in our 90-degree sign. Forgot to do that before. So this is what we're working with for our opposite and our adjacent for our tangent function. So looking at our first problem, we have tangent of 60. So drawing out our unit circle here. This is, again, kind of an easy starter one because we know that 60 is found in this quadrant. It's one of our reference angles for our unit circle, and it's our biggest reference angle. So we'll draw that up here. That's going to be our, oh, I already forgot to use my pen. But this is going to be our triangle. So our angle down here is 60. We have our right angle here and our 30-degree up here. So we have our 30, 60, 90 triangle again. So we can go back to our geometric ratios of side length. So across from our 30, we have 1. Across from our 90, we have 2. Across from our 60, we have square root 3. So those are the side lengths again for our 30, 60, 90 special triangle. And we can go through, highlight our opposite. So we're going opposite of our 60-degree angle measure and adjacent to our 60-degree angle measure. So we have our blue and our green there. Looking at tan of 60 degrees, we have opposite over adjacent. So that's going to be blue over green. And do that up here too. Forgot to do that. Blue over green. So our tan of 60 is going to be our opposite value, our blue value, which is square root 3, over our adjacent value of 1. So if you just want to write that as square root to 3, that'll be our answer. So tangent of 60 for this one is square root of 3. Looking at our next problem, tan of 150. This is another one of those problems where it's not one of our reference angles that we're working with. So we're going to have to kind of add up. So we're starting with 0, 90, 180, 270 as our axis angle measures. Looking at 150, we know it's somewhere between 90 and 180, so we know we're working in this quadrant right here. So 150, if you add 60 to 90, you get to 150. So we're going to draw in our hypotenuse here. And we know that this value between 90 and our hypotenuse is 60 to get to a total value here of our big angle of 150, because we always measure our angles from our reference line here. So this big angle is going to be 150. So 180, which is this total area, minus our reference angle of 150, we're going to be left with a theta value for our triangle here of 30. So I'm going to write that in. So we have 30 degrees here, 90 here, 60 here. It's another 30, 60, 90 triangle. So if we work up across from our 30, we have 1. Across from our 90, we have 2. Across from our 60, we have square root of 3. We have to remember that we're still positive for our y-axis, but our x-axis is negative. So this is going to be negative square root 3. Now when we come over here to our formula, tangent of 150 is still opposite over adjacent. which is our blue, over our green. And we still have, with our reference angle, our opposite side is here, our blue, and our adjacent is right here. That'll be our green. And when we transfer those values, we have tangent of 150 is opposite, so 1 over adjacent, which is negative square root 3. So again, have another chance to practice our rationalizing of the denominator. In this case, our denominator is a different square root. So we're just going to use that for our numerator and denominator here, which is square root 3 over square root 3. And even though the negative is in the denominator here, it doesn't matter really where you put it. So 1 over square root 3 with negative in the denominator is equal to negative 1 over square root 3 with it in the numerator. It really doesn't matter where you put it. So theoretically, you don't need to multiply by, negative square root 3 over negative square root 3. As long as you just make sure that you keep the negative when you transfer over to your final answer, you should be fine. So 1 times square root 3, you get square root 3. And for our denominator here, remember square root 3 squared is what this is saying, and that just equals 3. So you get your 3. And then your negative up here. So your final answer, negative square root 3 over 3. And yeah, so there's only 2 problems on that one. I hope this now makes sense. If not, feel free to shoot me a text. I am happy to explain anything else. I know I got kind of long-winded and confusing some places, but yeah, I'm free to help out with anything else you have about this topic. So yeah, hope that helped.